Welcome back, horror fans. BH Pumpkin Claw here. To say horror fans can be divisive is an understatement. Though we may disagree, it should be remembered and understood what matters is shared enthusiasm. Howard Lovecraft put it best when said, "Searchers after horror haunt strange, far places." Oculus is strictly translated in Latin as eye. In literature, mirrors have been a source of power to see in the future or reveal another world ulterior to ours. The power and history of mirrors is exactly why I feel the 2013 film Oculus' concept of possessed mirror is fantastic. In the film, they never specifically say that the mirror is haunted, more to the fact that it is a home to a paranormal entity. But as I have defended in the past, the origin of the monster can destroy the legacy that captured it to the start. For instance, the newest reveal of the Joker's origin. Oculus is non-linear, taking place on two timelines edited together, scenes jumping back and forth from past to present, designed to unsettle the audience, creating the doubt of what they are seeing is real or an illusion. The film begins with brother and sister, Kaylee and Tim, attempting to escape an undetermined location. The children turn to see a gun, and then the scene cuts to Tim years later discussing the events witnessed with a psychologist. It depicted that Tim is in a mental institute and recently had a breakthrough, finally accepting guilt for an unexplained actions years prior. The film then introduces adult Kaylee. She works for an auction house and has positioned herself to be steward for the sale of a large mirror with an impressive wooden frame known as the Lazar Glass. As the movie plays on, Kaylee and Tim are reacquainted after 11 years. Tim is warned by his doctor not to be swayed by his sister, who did not have the treatment he did, forcing her to deal with the death of their parents in a completely different manner. When Tim and Kaylee reconnect, Kaylee is excited to express to Tim that she found it, intricately explaining the history behind the mirror. Not only will she expose the entity, but destroy it in an act of revenge for what horrors it caused her family. The movie's alternate cuts from past to present, with the adult versions discussing the events prior, comparing their memories about what actually took place to them as children living the experience. Tim accepts to justify and reason his sister the events in logical perspective that he obtained with a decade of psychological treatment, compared to Kaylee's memory as a young girl convinced that the mirror harboring evil was responsible for the death of her parents and destruction of her family. What I loved most of this movie was that up until a certain point, you were not sure exactly where the story was going to take you. For one, the audience understands that it is a horror movie and under the impression that the mirror is haunted. Then again makes you question that the truth with the device of a brother and sister quarrel, debating over which each's memory served them. You may question if the mirror has evil inside of it, or if this is just a delusion by a woman who witnessed a horrific event as a child, dealing untreated over the years with a menacing idea that stewed into a grandeur of delusion. Either way, you would have an amazing plot, but let's just say the delivery of reveal does not disappoint and was crafted to make you think about the possibilities. Oculus stars Katie Sackhoff from none other than Battlestar Galactica, Karen Gillan, who played Nebula in Guardians of the Galaxy, and Brenton Thwaites, who will be in the new Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tale. It was also directed by the genius of Mike Flanagan, who brought us the Netflix release Hush and Ouija Origin of Evil, which was far superior to its predecessor. Flanagan is also stated to be directing the Netflix miniseries adaptation of Stephen King's book Gerald's Game. If you are not familiar with this piece of King's work, do yourself a favor at the very least and go over what it is about. It is a true King masterpiece. Oculus is a Blumhouse production, and as we all know, Blumhouse does not disappoint often, and I would even go as far to say in modern day equivalent of New Line Cinema for horror. This is an amazing film, if appreciated for the subtext and underlying story structure displayed, to make you question the reality and what truth mirrors have. In my opinion, it has one of the most surprising and disturbing endings in horror in recent times. It also will make you think twice about when you look in the mirror. Maybe the reflection you are seeing is not your own, but a monster waiting to destroy your mind. I give this film 5 claws. Did you see Oculus? Tell me you disliked it or what you thought of it in the comments below. Or tell me you loved it and can't wait for Mike Flanagan's version of Gerald's Game. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay scared.